Good morning. So this is my first discussion in the topic of variable costing. So before going to a detailed discussion of what variable costing is, let us first understand that one of the expected function of the management is to evaluate the performance of the company, whether it is about evaluating performance of the company as a whole or evaluating the performance of a specific subunit, specific department, or a specific product that is being introduced in the market. It is necessary for the management to evaluate performance so that necessary actions will be identified if the company is performing not well, and the necessary actions if the company is performing well. Now, in performance evaluation, one tool that can be used is through profit. Um, Performance, particularly financial performance of the company, can be evaluated by means of identifying the profit of the company. Now, in profit determination, in Module 1, we discussed that there are two major components before arriving at the profit, and those are the components of revenue and expenses. In the case of revenue, we have standards specifically for it. We have PFRS 15, and the revenue will typically be the same. For example, in a sales transaction, so you have your common number of units being sold, you multiply it with the expected selling price, and that's basically the revenue. In terms of expenses and cost, in Module 1 also, we discussed that there are different categories and classifications of expenses and cost. You can classify them whether it's product or period cost, whether it's variable or fixed cost. And since ito yung mga classification ng cost and expenses natin, pagdating sa profit determination as a tool in evaluating the performance, the management is expected not only to focus on the end result. When I say end result, not only to focus on the end profit, but on the details before arriving at the said profit. With that, when you evaluate the performance, you are not only looking at the profit, yung nasa dulo, but the details before arriving at the profit. And because of that, meron tayong dalawang profit determination model na i-discuss. One is variable costing, which is the subject matter, and the second one is the absorption costing. Pag-usapan muna natin yung absorption costing. See, absorption costing, this is our typical understanding of how to compute for the profit. The use of absorption costing, where we are used to see an income statement showing sales, cost of goods sold, gross profit, operating expenses, and net income. Because absorption costing is a type of costing that is intended for external reporting. Meaning, the information na makikita doon ay intended for external users. And since this is for external reporting, it is expected to be fully compliant on the generally accepted accounting principles. Also, absorption costing is referred to as full costing kasi in terms of determining the cost of the product, you are to include all the costs related to manufacturing. Whether it is direct or indirect, for as long as it is related to manufacturing or production, it is part of the cost of the product. On the other hand, in the variable costing, it is intended for management reporting, meaning the primary users ng variable costing ay internal users, which are the management. Having said that, Ibig sabihin, pag variable costing yung ginagamit natin, hindi requirement na compliant ka sa GAAP. Kasi yung information na pinoprovide mo ay para kay management. It's also known as direct costing because in terms of determining the cost of the product, you only consider those costs that are directly attributable to the product. Which means, ito yung mga cost na hindi mo siya naman mai-incur unless meron kang production. And that is direct cost, no? What are the direct costs? Yun yung mga variable cost natin. Commonly, the direct materials and the direct labor. It is also known as marginal costing or contribution margin costing kasi sa variable costing, your expenses are being categorized whether it's variable or fixed. Okay? Unlike absorption costing, you categorize the cost whether it's product or period cost. Okay? So this will be the first video for variable costing. Just an introduction of what is variable costing as compared to absorption costing, and why is it important to understand these two in relation to profit determination as a tool in evaluating the performance of the company as a whole or of the subunits of the company.